one sec. Walk into a restaurant, and you know that you're British and what have you, and a white person walks in, and you see the treatment is totally different, and it's not unless you open your mouth and you say something, and they realize that you're a foreigner. Do you get a slight bit of different treatment? Not much, not as much as your European or Caucasian counterparts going to get.
I think it's in how you respond. I've done it in Paris, and I just bounce. Because I'll be straight with you. When I'm spending my money, I'm God with a small G. Treat me accordingly, or I will get up and leave. I took my son we've gone to the cinema in Leicester Square, and we've gone to Angus Steakhouse. So now this little Somalian guy's shown us in. Impeccable behavior, great guy, loved the service, to the table. Then he's left me with this Italian girl. She's a little bit stroppy when she starts. Right. So I said, this young lady's not listening. So I said to my son, Super, go and tell her to make sure that the steaks are well done, because I can't eat no red meat. Me and my son like a steak black. Okay. So she goes and tells him, and then he goes and tells her, and she says something off to him. So he's come and sat down. I said, what did she say, Super? So I said, come here, young lady. Called her over. Didn't call her like that. I was very amenable. And she says, do you want to cook the steak at the table? I said, I beg your pardon, young lady. I said, I'm telling you I want it well done. Do you want to cook it at the table? Oh, she mistook who I was. Because you think that racism is about your color. No, racism is a power dynamic.
Here we go.
All white people can't be racist.
Here we go.
So now let me educate you. So I let her go through her little pantomime. And then I said, my love, I want the steak well done with black pepper. And she continued in her charade. So I said, okay, we're leaving. And I said, let me pay the bill. Oh, she knows it's going to be a problem. She said, you don't have to pay the bill. You can just leave. Yeah. I said, no, I'm going to pay the bill. Now, I wasn't going to pay for a steak I didn't eat. Yeah. I'm paying for my drinks that we ordered. So then when I'm speaking to our manager, I said, this young lady isn't qualified to work in the service industry because she's rude. Now she's trying to hide and she's trying to talk over me. I said, I will let you speak for as long as you want to speak. I'm talking to your colleagues now. He showed me in. He was impeccable. They said, you don't have to pay for the drinks. So I gave the Somalian young man a tenner.
Right.
Not because I don't have money, B. And you know what? I found your service so refreshing. Hold the tenner.
Okay.
That should have been whoever was serving me, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So I said, I'm not leaving here because I don't have money. I said, and we've just walked from a £60 meal because of that young lady, because she's not qualified to work in the service industry. She's rude. I suspect her of being a racist. And I said that just for her ears, racism is a power dynamic. You can't be poor and racist. It's about power. And you don't have any young lady. And you're not qualified to work in the service industry. I let them know I walked out of a £60 food bill because of her. And we went to a hamburger place and we ate because we have options. We aren't fated to suffer racism. We have to be complicit. We have options.
I mean, I've had this debate once on a show we call Anything Goes, right? And the question was at the time, it was Biden or with them kick him out of the house now at the moment.
Trump.
What's his name? Or Trump.
Yeah.
And those were just on the table. And I see that. Yeah? And the comment section went mad upon me. Right? Because they said, no, you have to take an option. You have to take. Now, we've been given, we only know of two options, I think.
Yep.
Growing up in the UK. That's either Conservative or Labour.
Yeah.
Right? Now, my question is to you is, where do you stand on that? Or is your program designed to go either way, the way in which, is it Ice Cube or is it Ice T?
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube.
The contract for Black America.
Right. Presented himself. Where do you come in on that?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. you see, you said, was it your daughter learns from other people's mistakes?
Yeah.
Me too. So when I saw what they did in America, the first thing I wanted to do was add value to a political party in the UK. So the We Matter party were forming, and I said, I'm going to get straight involved with that. And we're going to build out this vehicle until it's robust enough to serve us in every single ward where you've got a majority African Caribbean population. First and foremost, let's get our own party to get local council award seats, because that's where the resources are. The only reason to get power is to get resources. So when black people are saying we don't want money, forget that. We want money. Secondly, politics is a lot more complex than we think. So then when we want to change legislation, we need more than the political party. We need what's called an APPG, an all-party political group. Now, an all-party political group focuses on a sole issue. So let's say that Sainsbury's, Tesco's, and all of these guys wanted you to pay for carrier bags so they didn't have the overhead. Right. They would set up an APPG, and they would bring in Conservative, Lib Dem, Labour, Green Party, and all of the politicians from each party. They start small, just councillors, grow it out to MPs until everybody's on board. Now, we know everybody's going to be on board with those guys because they're going to pay, right?
Right.
Cool. So I went about investigating who would join our APPG. We need a Conservative, a Lib Dem, Labour. You've got Christian Party, who's got one of the fifth biggest number of candidates, okay. Green Party, and We Matter. Well, we have all of those candidates now for an APPG. You know what the criteria of the APPG is? To specifically work on collective legislation for African Caribbeans who are resident, African Caribbeans who are immigrants, the Caribbean, and the Commonwealth African nations, to specifically lobby on interests just for those named groups there. And it's called the African Caribbean Parliamentary Caucus. So now as we start to build these vehicles in different ways that all build out to the bigger puzzle that represent us in the nation. So it's not that ADPAC works in isolation. It's about working and adding value to those who have initiatives already, same with the reparations, and just growing it out and making it more robust.